This monitor is a 27-inch, 144Hz IPS with G-Sync and HDR 10-bit, with quantum dot technology, and all that is at 4K resolution and a 4 millisecond response time. So let's get this out of the way. It's new and amazing technology, which means it's not about the best value for money. You spend the extra because you want the latest and greatest. The price will come down eventually, so I'm not going to get into that. Instead, I want to focus on the user experience and how it plays. Also, I have to send this monitor back, so I haven't really made it a part of my setup properly. But big thanks to Acer and MWAVE for letting me take a look. MWAVE are an online tech retailer in Australia, and they've been a big help with supporting the channel. Okay, now for the monitor. The problem with 4K on 27-inch is that it makes text almost unreadable. You would have to scale everything, and that can cause problems with some games. I think 1440p on 32-inch is great. 4K for me, I think the minimum would be 34-inch. That said, the games do look very crisp. Even Quake Live looks better. With a 1080 Ti, I couldn't get my max FPS in Quake Champions, so I had to lower the render quality. But even at 80%, it looked great. In games like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, everything struggles on medium and high. You would need to play on low to get the smoothness. Same goes for Doom, just not enough frames. It all looks amazing, but you definitely need a high-end computer to run it. Also with G-Sync on at high frames, I can almost read the text on screens in Overwatch. Usually you'd need DIAC or 240Hz for that. Testing ghosting with the UFO test, if you set overdrive mode to extreme, it's got a fair bit, but it's fine on normal. There's LED lighting to help RGB your desk with a few effects. You can set it to gradient, but it's not smooth. Here's a quick look through the menu. The monitor is capable of going extremely bright. I had to turn it right down. Usual blue light and dark boost options, color options too. I didn't put too much time into setting it up, but they look good to me. Speaker volume here, but they're not loud and quite tinny, usual for a monitor. Here's the overdrive part set to normal, along with the overclock to get the 144Hz. Otherwise it's 120. Also crosshairs if you want them. OSD settings, and in system you have the usual plus the ambient light setup, with a few options. It seems to handle glare and reflection pretty well. Here's what it looks like in a daylit room, with a light on the camera. Not bad. For response time, not an exact test, but at 1440p and duplicated with an LG 144Hz monitor, it looks like the LG VA panel is very slightly faster. Watch the position of the crosshair dot. The LG monitor is on the left, and it looks like it's slightly ahead. But this is at 1000 frames per second, so the difference is almost nothing in real time. I had no issue with reaction in playing on it. This monitor has a fan and it can get quite loud. Even just leaving it on the desktop, sometimes it will sound louder than my computer, and yet other times I'll be playing and it won't be too loud. Either way, it's going to be much louder than regular monitors, so be prepared for that. There were no dead pixels that I could see. And I haven't seen HDR perform too well on most monitors, and it took me way too long to know if there was a difference on this one, so I think I'll skip the HDR thing and let someone else talk about it. It's a 10-bit panel though. Looking at a black screen, there is some extra glow around the bottom on this one. Not too bad, but that might be exaggerated by having a dark background with something light on it. It's not too noticeable, but so you can see it easily, I've brightened the camera settings. You can see me waving in the reflection, so it's quite bright to get that. I also find it takes a while to turn back on. After it goes to sleep, the wake up is slow. And again we see the white glow around the icon and cursor. It disappears a bit once you move around. The viewing angles are obviously extremely good, up and down, side to side. And here's a look at the back. The stand is fairly solid, metal on the base and frame, the rest is plastic, including the circular parts. Menu navigation is easy with the buttons on the back, along with the red joystick. There's extra USB on the other side, and USB on the side of the monitor too. It tilts, it's height adjustable, and it swivels. Usual connections are found underneath, and has the included HDMI 2.0 and DisplayPort cables. Also headphone jack. It comes with shields too if you need them, but they're not for me. And now some highlights while I give my conclusion. So you pretty much get every feature in one. If you're a serious graphic designer and gamer, you can work and play on one screen, but you would be buying this wanting the brand new technology. It's extremely impressive seeing 4K resolution at 144Hz, especially with G-Sync. Most of us won't have the money to spare for this, but it is a sign of things to come. So even if you don't get to see this one, you should be excited we're finally getting there. It's an amazing piece of equipment with a lot of the top features you could want. Hopefully in the next 10 years we can all afford these, and have systems that can run games of this detail. But for now, this will no doubt remain a dream for most people. As for the general experience, it's mostly really good, but the new tech means it's not as fluid as we might like yet. Go in expecting some little concerns that I've mentioned in this review. Otherwise it's outstanding and a top performing monitor. Definitely one of the best I've tried. Hope that helps. Big thanks again to MWAVE for all their help. I've been buying from them for years, even before I had the channel. And now that I've met them a few times, I can recommend them even more. Huge range, well priced, great service. And thanks to Acer for approving my loan of this monitor too. Again, amazing tech. That's it for now. Subscribe for more reviews, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.